So today's recipe is chocolate muffins for those who like the sweet tooth. So we're going to start off in my lovely mixer that I really like, which is my KitchenAid. And a few accessories that I always go for are going to be my coconut milk. You can see it's upside down because I cut it all the way upside down when I do those. You're going to see some eggs mixing here, and we're gonna put in some coconut sugar, and we're gonna put in our vanilla to start with also. Then as we're going, we're gonna be mixing it up and putting some cacao powder in there for the chocolate part of things. We're also going to be putting, here's the vanilla, we're going to also be putting in our almond milk, and we're going to have 3 cans today of the small cans of almond milk, or sorry, not almond milk, um, of coconut milk with the cream. I always put the in the refrigerator for 24 hours before I start this whole process so that I can separate the cream and the liquid together. That way I can dump out, and that's why I do the can upside down and take the lid off of it that way with the can opener. And it makes it a lot easier for just dumping that out and taking the cream out, of course. The other thing we were going to add to this was the almond meal is going to be our key. Almond meal is different from regular, almond flour. It's actually crushed up almonds, and you can buy a bag of almonds and crush them up if you think that it's cheaper. I always go to Sprouts. This video is not sponsored by them in any way, shape, or form, but they always have a bulk supply of it, so I always get it from them. The coconut milk I always buy in bulk, of course, at Costco. And then the chocolate is a paleo chocolate. It doesn't have any nuts in it. It does not have milk in it or anything like that. It's a special one that's ordered online, and you can find that anywhere. The I'm going to take some cashew milk, about 1 cupful, and the chocolate, and I'm going to mix it together and put it into the microwave for about 2 minutes or so just to get it nice and melted. That's the cacao powder that you can see right there. It does not have any nuts in it or any milk or anything like that, no sugar. So that's why we added in that coconut sugar. I like the coconut sugar with the vanilla. That works the best. I always get one specific brand, which is the treetop one. And that's the only one that I get to use in all of my cooking because it tastes the best, and it almost tastes like brown sugar is what it tastes like. And then it adds the extra vanilla. I like lots and lots of vanilla in my cooking. And then it also has that decreased sugar in it also. So here in a few minutes, you're going to see that I took out there's the almond milk going in. I think I added a little extra. You're going to see that I took out the chocolate out of the microwave. I need to stir it up real good and make kind of like chocolate milk, basically. That way that I can pour it in there. Make sure that when you do pour it in that it's not too terribly hot, because you will cook your eggs, and then you'll have scrambled egg muffins, and then you'll be very pissed off that you messed that up. So make sure that you do put that in kind of like lukewarm or in there at room temperature to make sure that it doesn't get all messed up. When I was first cooking and learning how to do things, so, that's something that I used to do too. So thank goodness for all those cooking channels and all those things that can help us out. So you can see that I'm just pouring it in there, and I think it's at that room temperature. I make sure that I test it with my finger, and I'm giving it a good mix here for, 5-10 minutes or so. I did scrape my sides during this time too, which you didn't get to see that, but you can see that I'm trying to do that kind of right now. Um, That way it's all mixed up. If it's too runny, and mine was runny, I added an extra cup of almond milk to get, or I mean, sorry, almond milk to get the right consistency. You don't want it too runny, but you want it kind of doughy looking like it is right here putting in the cupcakes. I have 24, 25 cupcakes, and please use the silicone in there, because if you don't use the silicone, it makes a huge gigantic mess later in order to clean it up. And then everything's placed in the oven for about 350. I check mine in like 15-20 minutes just to double check. If it's still ooey gooey on the outside, or then I go ahead and put it back in the oven for an extra 15 minutes. So it could take about 45 minutes or so. There is no leveling like baking soda in this stuff, because you don't need it in Colorado. This is all cooking in Colorado, but I did add tapioca starch in there also, which makes a huge difference in making it not so like ooey gooey. It keeps it together, as you open up the cupcake itself. It tastes really, really good. So that's something else that you want to think about adding, but you don't need to add, any baking soda or baking powder to this, because it will be just fine because we're high altitude here. If you live somewhere else, you might have to change things up. But all of my cooking is based off of high altitude cooking in Colorado's type altitude weather. So anyway, that's how you make these muffins. They are paleo. They do have nuts in them, but there is no flour in them, and it's decreased in also sugar. So those are the things that are very important in keeping your diet. I make the little itty bitty muffin ones because it's easier for me just to grab one and pop it in my mouth, and then there, I'm done. There's my chocolate fix for the day, or my sugar fix for the day. That way I'm not constantly, grabbing and eating and all that stuff. And it keeps you better fit too if you can keep things small. You'll notice that a lot of my muffins, and when I do different things, are quite small. That way it helps with your diet, and that you're not getting a huge, gigantic muffin that is out of your calorie zone. So anyway, thanks for watching today with our chocolate muffins, and hopefully you have something that can inspire you with your food and your garden. So thanks for watching our channel today, and please hit that subscribe button and thumbs up if you like it.